Hello, good evening, and good welcome to Xbox Tavern's X Pod Tavern episode 151st on this lovely Sunday evening. My name's Jamie, and this week I'm joined by the one and only MPV Graham.
Good, hello.
Good hello to you. Are you spiffing?
I will be spiffing, possibly pulsating throughout the whole episode, depending on how this connection holds up.
Yes, slight tech issues, but we'll be fine. I believe in us. We can get through this. Because we are here and we are doing Xbox Tavern's Xbox Tavern, which recorded each every Sunday 8 p.m.
Solo-ish,
and sort of ish, because we missed a week and last week was our Project Game Pass stream, so we haven't done one for a couple of weeks. It's exciting to be back. Just me and Graham this week because the other guys are off gallivanting around doing who knows what. Don't ask no questions. You don't what you don't need to know. You don't know. So
yeah.
I'm sure they'll be back next week to regale us of whatever they've been up to. And keep it slightly safe for work, maybe. Graham, have you had a wonderful weekend? Have you enjoyed yourself in this wonderful sunny / rainy / thundery / all sorts of shitty weather weekend?
The weather has been a bit more grimmer, but it has been slightly warmer than what it has been recently. It's almost like it's making signs that spring may be on its way, but it's just not quite there yet. It's kind of like it's dropping hints, but it's not showing its face just yet.
Acceptable. It's already too warm. Bring back the cold, I say. Bring back the winter. We need more cold months. We haven't had any snow this year. Where's the fucking snow? Outrageous.
Yeah, instead we just had rain and plenty of it.
Rain and fucking wind and lightning and all sorts of nonsense, but no snow. But never mind. Maybe next year, eh?
I could just do without the wind. I don't really care what the temperature is. This wind can just do one.
Yeah, it was fucking very, very breezy earlier on. I was enjoying it muchly, except for it's blowing everything around the house. Anyway, let's move on from weather-related subject, shall we? I mean, we could talk about the weather all day. We're old men now. That's what we get allowed to do. But let's get into. We'll very quickly glance over Project Game Pass. What is Project Game Pass, how you ask? It is where we pick a game from Game Pass each and every month. We play it, we discuss it. We live stream it now the first Sunday of every month, in theory anyway. And then we talk about it on the podcast. This month's one is Dead Island 2. I think I got that right. I'm pretty sure on the live stream I said Dying Light 2, which was quickly pointed out to me. Yeah, very different game. Dead Island 2. Graham, you reviewed it way back whenever it was released. You enjoyed it. You didn't play with us the other day. It was me, Scottish Elf Ross, and Special Guest Pete. We only did, I don't even know if we did a mission. We might have managed to do one mission, but we were fucking around just setting things on fire and dying left, right, and centre and blowing things up. I quite enjoyed it for what it was, but at the same time, I said to the guys afterwards, I couldn't really get into the groove of it. I don't know what it was, if it was just that night or if it's just I'm not into that game, because I played it with you before and I had no interest in sort of going back to it on my own or anything. And it was good fun, but it's annoying. It's only 3-player co-op, and I don't know. I just couldn't really get the oomph to get into it. When we did that, whatever we did, like an hour and a bit, and it's like, that's enough for me. That'll do for now. Have you played any more at all since obviously you reviewed it and finished it way back when? Or
no, it's hard to really get back into after you kind of completed it. I mean, I can see why you probably won't enjoy it as much. The story's not super in depth, but it's enough. It's just for kind of progression's sake, as sort of the weapons get a bit more better, the zombies get a bit more tougher, and you get a bit more kind of skills to work with. It all kind of coincides with each other, so you've got the same sort of increase in difficulty as you get the increase in abilities, and it all kind of levels out a bit more. Earlier on, it can be quite tough on your own, but obviously, if as we saw with that boss in that room, if one person's holding the attention, the other one can just cheap shot away. So, I mean, that won't apply to all of the bosses in there, but just for some of them, it's good to have a little bit of a kind of distraction, because when it's all on you, it can be quite challenging as you're a single focal point. But if you know the routine of sort of like parry and finish, like attack that way, you can kind of sort of model your way through the game.
I think now you mentioned the boss, actually. I remember where we got to. We did the one with the zombie that's getting married, and it's like in the wedding.
Yeah, like in the hotel bit.
Yeah, and we did that, and like you said, I think we alternated. Like Ross and Pete would be sort of distracting it, or Ross would be distracting me, and Pete would be behind smashing the shit out of it, and then it suddenly turned its attention to one of us, and the other two would sort of fight it.
Way more challenging on your own, but as a duo or a triple, then it's a bit more easier, I would have thought.
Although you would, I don't know if you checked out any of the stream, but Ross at one point, like we'd been playing like 5 minutes, and he went down. The mission marker was to the right, and he went to the left into this other sort of villa area. And you know when you get the zombies with the skulls on their health bar, it says that they're way too tough for you right now. We ended up getting chased by about 4 of them because he just dragged them out, and we had like a pool of water there, and between the 3 of us, I think Pete was drop kicking them. I was setting the water on fire with my knife that I had. Water on electrified, with the knife that I had. And Ross was just like lobbing shit at, like trying to distract him at it and just trying to hold them in this place. Their health bar was like, it took us about 20 minutes to kill one of them. It's
just not worth it. Those ones that are not at your level, it's not worth that fight.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, we did it, but it took up most of the time that we were playing. But yeah, like I said, I can see why it'd be fun, but for whatever reason last week, I just could not get sort of my head into it.
It's almost like they designed that to be played with friends because the story is a bit meh. They say, "Oh, you're like you're immune to zombies. You just need to get somewhere." But everyone has a mission for you to do. It's like, go back here and save this person. Go back here and get this. I'll help you, but you have to do this for me. Go to this location. It's like, okay, it's not like high tech in terms of sort of detail of story, but it's enough that you're going to go there. It's going to be a challenge, but obviously if there's more of you, then you don't have to focus the story. You just have to keep getting on with the challenge.
Although you can't skip the cutscenes, much to Special Guest Pete's delight, because we were watching the guy. There was one bit where, granted, it turned into a little sort of bit of a mini bit of a mission, but he was coming down the stairs on like a what's the electric seat that goes up and down.
Stair lift.
Called stair lift. Thank you. He's coming down there, and we were just like, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up!" And then we started fighting zombies. And we had to stand there, and then we had to stand and wait for like a minute while he walked very slowly to the next room while he was telling us what was going on. And so, just get on with it. I just want to fight more zombies. But yeah, I mean, we'll have hopefully Scottish Scruff Ross back next week, and maybe even Special Guest Pete can drop in and give us his thoughts on it as well. But for now, I'm still much like I was before. Fair to middling on it. And you can go check out Graham's review over on xboxtavern.com right now, where you gave it an 8.9, was it we decided last week? I think Ian asked Jeeves quickly while we were on air. I think it was an 8.9, something like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I was quite taken with it, considering the first one had so much potential. Graphically, it looked great, but gameplay-wise, it was so meh. Whereas they improved it a bit more on this one and made it a tad bit more gimmicky, but it was way more enjoyable than the first one, I thought.
Yeah, nice. So so we'll get some more on that next week when the other lads are back. Actually, before we move on, next week we'll have a little discussion in between, but we could potentially be returning of Xbox Tavern's Super Duper Ultra Turbo Mega Quiz, as hosted by the one and only, where is he? MPV Graham this time.
Yes.
We tend to do them every few months on Xbox Tavern. We've had 3 or 4 so far, and they've all been great fun. You can go back and check them out on YouTube or podcast services. YouTube's better because there's a lot of visual stuff, like clue answers and visual sort of questions and stuff like that. But this time it's Graham's turn to host, so hopefully next week we'll get into that. We'll have a bit of quiz time to come back next Sunday 8 p.m.
Yes.
Quizish, nice.
Quizish, yeah.
And we'll have a wonderful quiz hopefully for you, and that will be episode 150th, which is hence why we are called why we're 151st this week. Don't worry about it; this all works out in the end. But come back and check us out next week. That'd be lovely. Thank you very much. Right, Graham. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I'm gonna buck the trend here, and I'm gonna ask you, what's your best pull?
Oh, I thought you might ask that. It's a shame because recently they've been throwing out sort of special cards like candy recently on that game, but nothing's cracked into my team yet. There's some that's come close, but they're kind of just on the bench fodder. I think I've got a winter wild cards, Butragueno and Sanchez, but just bench fodder. No one's cracking into the team yet. But I did the Timo Werner squad-based challenge, who's the Spurs' German striker they got on loan, and he's met 3 out of the 4 criteria for now, so his stats have boosted up, so he's managed to take the striking spot because he's boosted like 3 on overall, so he's a lot more zippier. But
nice.
other than that, no other sort of super pools, just a lot of meh pools, a couple of special ones, but like I said, all meh. They're getting to the sort of towards the end of the season where they start throwing out special cards left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Fair enough. I realise we've had this segment going for a few months now, but just in case we've got any new listeners / viewers, hello. Best pools, Graham pools. What is it? FIFA Ultimate Team, isn't it? Oh, sorry, EAFC.
Ultimate
Team. And every week we get an update on what the best pool he's got. And obviously this week, not so much. What was the one the other week? It was a Lightning Kaka or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe laugh.
Thunderstruck Kaka.
Thunderstruck Kaka. Sorry, that was it. That's a fucking tremendous name. I enjoy.
He's cycling with Zico in my team. So one Brazilian legend for another. So he made the team. So that was why that one was a good pool.
And if you want to face Graham in FIFA Ultimate Team, can they challenge you? Is that how it works? I don't really understand. EA Sports Ultimate Team.
It's not the easiest way to try and do, but yeah, if you're interested, we can try to make it happen.
Yeah. Do they need your gamer tag, or is it like a EA Sports thing?
The gamer tag should be enough to sort of make it. You can sort of arrange a friendly through the gamer tag, and it's the same as every other handle. Is that Graham Reaper?
And find him at Graham Reaper.
Yeah, for those that need that level, I'm probably I've constantly been about Division 3 level with rivals, so I'm kind of in that realm. So if you're higher than that, you're
bring your fucking A game.
I would say bring your C game. As long as you've got a C game, I can probably give you a game.
Close enough. Any letter of the alphabet, you'll be fine. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So yeah, cool, excellent. Thank you very much. Nice, good pulls there. Bit of open challenge to everybody. Go and challenge him, and then if you manage to beat him, he'll challenge you a game of Bomberman, and then you get his own back.
Just to get a bit of my soul back. There is something I can still win.
Yes, nice, awesome. Right, let's talk about video games we've been playing this week, Graham, shall we?
Yes.
And we're going to start with the big one, the Big Daddy one, which I as we were having a little chat beforehand, I think we're going to end up slightly opposed in a good way, I guess. I don't know. We'll get into it. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
Big release this week from Capcom. What's it been? 12 years, I think, since the original one came out. And this is obviously the sequel. It's kind of like a semi-remake, apparently. I never really played the first one very much, but most of the reviews and stuff I've been reading are saying that it's effectively retelling or redoing the first game, just with like more modern tech and stuff. Yeah, we got it a little bit early. Review's not quite ready yet. Scott Ross is working on that, I believe, as we speak. Hi, Scott Ross, if you're listening while you're playing it. And I'll just throw it out there very quickly. I didn't really... I think I played the first one very, very small amount, like maybe a borrowed your disc or something. I don't remember.
No, I've got it. I paid for it before.
Yeah, so I think I played it. I didn't really enjoy it, what I played of it. But this one got me fucking hook, line, and sinker. I am having a great time. I'm genuinely surprised. I even was more than... I thought I'd get like an hour in and be like, nah, I'm not interested in this. But it's been one of them games where I've been sat at work during the day, been like, I can't wait to go and play some more Dragon's Dogma. I want to go and play some more Dragon's Dogma. And I haven't played as much as I would have liked this weekend, but there's something weird about it. It's like, it's janky and it doesn't explain very much, and it's awkward and you die a lot, especially early on. But for some reason, I'm just having a great time. I'm loving just running from place to place and getting into all sorts of scraps with, giant fucking ogres or just the run-of-the-mill grunts and harpies and stuff. The quests are weird and a bit wonderful. I like the physics system of picking up the rocks and throwing them, or picking up the enemies and throwing them off stuff. Yeah. And I've gone for an archer class, and I was struggling with the combat a little bit to start with. And just as I started to sort of reach the point, I was like, oh, fuck this, I'm not doing it again. I got back to the main town and I managed to get some upgrades, some new abilities and stuff. And from that point, it sort of just instantly switched it back around again. I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this again. I was looking forward to getting into fights so I could try out my new abilities, and upgrading my main pawn. And I had some other cool pawns with me that I found just as you wander around. And yeah, I'm only about, I think, maybe 11 or 12 hours in, which again is a lot more than I ever thought I'd put into it. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm sort of mainly sticking to the main quest, but every now and then, there's something shiny over there. I'll go and do that. I'll go and do this. Yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I'm really, really surprised. It's much like a Dragon Infinite Welfare this year, and Man Who Raised the Name last year. Yeah, it sort of won me over. Got a new fan. And if we weren't doing this right now, I would literally be sitting on the other side of that door behind the camera and playing some more until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Graham, what about you? How are you finding a bit of Dragon's Dogma 2?
I am very surprised that you're enjoying it as much as you are. This, so as much of as an RPG fan as I am, this one, it had the same sort of bits that annoyed me from the first one. Because I discovered the first one because like people were like reeling off sort of top 10 RPGs you must play on the Xbox and or 360 and stuff like that, and that was one of them. So I went back and bought it just to kind of give it a taste, and it started off sort of the story wise, it's all right, it's quite good, but it's just, when you get into sort of direction things where there's sort of quest bits, sort of the map is horrible. It just doesn't tell you anything of where to go. You just guessing yourself all over the place, and then it doesn't really fully thrash out the whole pawn system even in the first one. Sort of it's just you get to command them. It's like, okay, it's like you're the Arisen, like everyone likes to tell you that. That was giving me Greedfall flashbacks. Everyone keeps calling me the Arisen.
You must be the Arisen. Yes,
you must be the Arisen. Yeah. So constantly getting that bit, and then it's just the same thing in this one. Sort of still don't know where you're kind of going, and there's sort of the combat is still not much better from the first one. Sort of, don't get me wrong, some of the physics bit are clever, where you can sort of climb on an enemy. It's similar like God of War style, but just on like ogres and stuff like that. You can just climb up and sort of start jamming, poking them with the sword in their neck and head and stuff to sort of weaken them, or chop them in the legs to sort of make them fall over so you can give them an extra pummel. That's quite clever. I do like that bit. And you can pick them up and throw them, chuck them in the brine for an instant kill if you can pull that off. So yeah, those bits are fine with. It's just the combat bit. Why you can't lock onto an enemy and shield face that way. So many times I'm trying to shield block and I'm facing the wrong bloody way, and the goblin keeps hitting me up the arse. And there's
what class have you gone for then? I'm assuming like
I did
a warrior.
Start off as a warrior. I think because I was messing around. Weirdly, we both picked the same giant lion faced character, almost the exact same color. Because I saw your pawn that you made.
Yeah.
Your pawn almost has exactly the same face as my character. I was like, that's uncanny that you picked the exact same face. But I made him very weird looking. So he's got like a really giant top half of the body, but the skinniest of little legs. And he runs like how Mr. McMahon walks with his sort of head backwards. And I was just watching him run is one of the funniest things I can watch. And then just to flip it on its head, my main pawn, I made a super old lady, I think called Thelma. It's just like she looks like an 80-year-old woman who's got a fat ass and a skinny little top half. So like her legs and everything are like super wide, and then she's got skinny arms, skinny body, skinny little head.
They're like yin and yang then, the pair of them together.
I thought I'd just, why not make it a bit of a chuckle going through. But it's just the fact that she's like an old lady. I think she's a warrior as well. And then I got your character, your little Kuntamajiri, as your little pawn. But every now and then when I start the game up, it keeps changing its name to Kazoo.
That was you could set a nickname or something, can't you? And that was the closest I could get to what it is, which was Kazoo.
The name above his head get changed. I was like, what the fuck? Did it just? I thought it nerfed your name at first. I was like, I didn't like the cunt in the Kuntamajiri.
I know. I was surprised they let me get away with my old gamer tag, but I had to pick a nickname. Yeah, that's close enough. Has he done you any good? Because he doesn't really do me much good. I tend to rely on my other pawns, if I'm honest.
The only thing that's sort of managed to help, because he's also a warrior, so I've got like 3 warriors going on, and I had to get someone to go, so we're lacking a mage for healing.
I was going to say, but they're not shouting at you. We're not very balanced over here. We need more.
It literally, just as they said that, about 10 seconds later, I bumped into a mage called Herb. It was like, okay. And there comes my magic, and he started healing me straight away. And I was like, oh, that's quite handy. But yeah, no, the balance was completely out of whack because 3 warriors that just keep going straight in, dying all over the place. Keep trying to pick them up. I was like, you, like Eddie Price. I was like, that's why Jay likes it so much. Everyone keeps dying every moment. It's probably the first time where your pawns keep dying so many times. You keep reviving them all the time.
Especially Cantamadri, yeah, he just charges in there and gets absolutely fucking destroyed left, right, and centre.
So that, I mean, my cat keeps I died so many times in the night. So like I said, that quest from something went wrong because you go from, I can't remember, it's like Melv or somewhere like that, and it says you have to go to the palace bit, and it's so far away. It's like I thought, oh, maybe there's some little sub quest you can do on the way. No, it's just one long trek with so many bloody enemies in between, and there's just no give.
Yeah,
and then. Yeah, constantly fighting, losing people, and it's like, oh look, there's something shiny over there. There's a chest. Go out to the chest, and the fucking ogre pops out. There's only so many ogres. I already bumped into like 3 or 4 ogres. It's like, okay, I can't keep fighting these guys. They just keep rinsing my health.
I keep finding them and the giant like minotaurs keep popping up everywhere. It's like, fuck off! I can't. It's not worth fighting. You leave me alone. I just want to get to where I'm going.
No, the harpies are doing my head in because I've only got 3 bloody warriors and 1 mage. No one can hit the fucking thing. So, there's only so much flying through the air I can handle. I've got the aerial strike, and if I might get lucky, I can sort of knock it out of the sky.
Yeah.
But it's like,
well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm an archer and I still can't fucking hit them cunts. they just like fly around so much, and then they end up putting me to sleep. It's like, oh fuck off, leave me alone.
And then the super tough freaking lizard people as well. They started whooping me by the water until I managed to pick one up and lob them into the brine. But then they just rinsed the rest of my team. It's like, you can't just run them off and leave them. It's like, I'm either going to have to try and pick them up and die or just... Yeah, so it's just that. That's why I kept checking the map over again. But even the map looks rubbish, and there's no fast travel or easy way to fast travel. You have to like pay for like rift stones or something that you can only get.
Yeah, they're well expensive, and I think, like I said, in all the time I've been playing, I think I've only accrued 1 in all that time. I got one for a quest as a quest reward or something.
Yeah. So don't do that. Hard. Don't do bloody paying for fast travel.
That's one of the big things that people are kicking off about, isn't it? Because before launch,
there was it's a microtransaction to do it. So I've never saw that. But
before launch, obviously we had review copies and that. It wasn't in there, and then on launch day, after all the reviews and stuff have come out, they chucked them in saying you could pay £2 for a riftstone or a pack of riftstones. And it's like, everyone was like, but no one mentioned this. No one knew. It literally wasn't there yesterday. And then today you're telling me it's there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that are quite expensive like that. And even sleeping in a bed, like in the inns and stuff, it's very expensive, especially to start with. And, it's worth doing. But,
2,000 gold. I was like, that's like a quarter of my gold.
Yeah,
I need to sleep because I need to get my health back. I got down to a half, and you got the gradually declining health as you get hurt.
Yeah.
So that's a new little funky feature, which is fine, but don't make it so bloody expensive to sleep.
Or you can use a camping spot, but the camping bags are well heavy.
Yeah,
and you only get, I've got enough. I've never really run out, but that means someone's always constantly over encumbered or something, and they're just running along like.
So, what are you doing? And just that kind of clunky choices that didn't really sit well with me. And the one that sort of really annoyed me was the climb up a ladder to get something at the top of it, and then try and climb down the ladder. There's no button to climb down it. You kind of just have to hover near it until he sort of takes initiative. Yeah. And I tried to do it, and I just completely fell off the edge. And for some reason, every time you fall off, he always leans forward.
Yeah, lean forward. I think if you tilt forward far enough, that's when you get damage because you sort of flat face on the floor. Yeah. If you land upright, you sort of take either no damage or way less damage. It's funny though watching him just go.
I know, completely fucking pancaked myself on the floor. It's like, he can't even climb down the ladder. What is wrong with this game?
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things that I probably in any other game would be like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. Like you said, the awkward combat and the awkward traversal and the lack of map hints. At least it gives you a general location of where you're going most of the time. But once you get there, then you're like, oh, well, I don't know where I'm going now. Like I said before we started, we were talking about one mission in particular, and I had to go to a masquerade ball, and it said, you have to don a certain outfit and go there like when it's on. So I randomly found the outfit. I don't even remember where I got it from. So I went there and there's no masquerade ball on tonight. And I was like, well, when is it? I don't know. It just come back and try again. I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'll run around for a little bit and come back later. And then when I got there, it said, whatever the mission was, find this person. But I had no idea who I was looking for, where I was looking, what I was supposed to be doing. So I was just running around. I ended up getting arrested because I just started punching people. So I was like, something's got to happen, surely. And then I had to break out of prison and then do it all again. But eventually we figured it out. But go on.
As I was going to mention, that trip where you have to take from Mel to the palace bit to be recognised, that I was being accompanied by the person that takes you there, and he disappeared halfway through the map. It was when it went dark, and then suddenly I wasn't following him anymore. He just wasn't there, and every time I died and came back, he just wasn't there to guide me. And once you get to the place, he goes, "Where's your letter of invitation?" I was like, "What fucking letter of invitation?" I was like, "Where is he?" I was like, "I don't know where he is." I was like, "Do I have to go all the way back to the fucking Melv?" I was stuff it. So I just quickly ran past the guard, and I got taken in for interrogation. And then they go, "No, you are the Arisen," and you get interrogated, and that's it. You get to come out and be in there anyway.
Yeah,
I was like,
you talked to Brandon, yeah, but yeah,
so,
there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of little things. Which is, in any other instance would be like almost game breaking, but there's just something about it. I listened to a podcast yesterday, and they sort of compared it to like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and stuff, where you're just given a world, and those Zelda games are very freeform, like go and figure out what to do, and I think that's why I like it because it's very Zelda-like ish, in those ways. But it's obviously a lot more technically advanced and more oldie worldy Englishy rather than proper I don't get it. Random fancy. But
are they trying to make it more realistic? Because I thought that was like, they're just trying to make it so you feel everything like it's tricky. You have to do a balancing act. I was like, okay, fine. If you're going down that angle, then don't let me buy something from his shop and then quickly run around the side and just nick something from his chest or just open a chest. That's not why is the chest that you can just run into people's shops and just open a chest that they're just standing right next to. Oh, I've got some special Harspud or whatever it was. Yeah. But sort of, I'm just yoinking stuff out of chests from shops and they give a shit.
Yeah. There's later on bits where you have to do some stealth between like the palace guards and that. And it's very janky as well. You sort of walk into this room and they're patrolling around it. And I literally was stood, a few feet just standing there and he didn't see me. As soon as I started moving, when he was facing the other way, he turned around and just walloped me in the face. I was like, I thought I was safe here because you didn't react. And then I literally took one step and he just beat the shit out of me. There's lots of little bits like that. And again, like I just said many times, it doesn't matter to me. I'm still just having a great time, just exploring, just going around the world, doing the little side quests, doing mainly the main missions, and just being set free in this pretty good looking sort of fantasy world where I can just wander off and piss about for a little bit. The inventory is a fucking dick though. I'm not a fan of that at all. Like trying to constantly having to move things between people, and then if you get rid of your pawns, so you lose, like your stuff gets put to storage. So you need to take stuff you want off them before you get rid of them, and then like faffing around trying to equip different people's items. And I'm forever fucking pressing the wrong button and sending it to the wrong person and doing whatever. But when I first started, I had a couple of pawns which I really liked. I don't know why I got so attached to them, but I was quite enjoying like the team dynamic we had going on. And then I was level 12. My main pawn was level 12, and these were like level 1 and 2 still. I was like, why the fuck aren't they leveling up? Didn't realise they don't level up. You have to get new ones. I was like, no, I don't want new ones. I want to keep these ones. So I had to go and find some suitable replacements, which I haven't really found still. I found some people, but they're not the same. Damn it. I was enjoying being with them. But again, despite all that,
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, you need to change out your other two pawns constantly because they are what they are. They don't upgrade or learn new powers or abilities. You can equip them with stuff, but
wow, well, that's why I kept yours because it was yours.
Yeah, if they go back to, I don't know if it about. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe it does level up with me if you've taken my pawn, but if you take a random one from the world, it won't. I don't really know. These ones were just like default because again, it was before launch, so we didn't really have many people to
see
to
what
go
level
from.
you're at, see if you're
Yeah,
progressing or not.
I think he should be level 12 or 13
Yeah,
now.
I think
maybe
it was when I last checked, which was a higher level than what I was anyway.
Yeah, but again, despite all the little foibles and the weird systems and the stupid way they've done a lot of the things like the quests and all that stuff, I'm having a great time, and I fully intend on seeing it right the way through. And really really enjoying it. I could probably, if I had the time, it would probably be a kind of game I'd spend like 100 hours playing, but a lot of people said they're getting through it in like 30 to 40 hours, which will probably about do me. Just get through the main thing, do a few side missions, explore a little bit, die many times, maybe set a few things on fire,
Easily
and
done.
go from there. But yeah, really really good, really enjoying it so far. So like I said, Ross's review, get my words right. Ross's review will be up at some point this week, hopefully, and we'll see whether he agrees with myself or Graham or the consensus, because he's been getting fucking 9s and 10s left, right, and centre. So it'd be interesting to see what he thinks of it so far. Any more on Dragon's Dogma, Graham, before we move on to some
not
other
for
video
me
games?
just yet. I'm gonna play it a bit more. I'll reserve my decision to play a bit more, but it's nowhere near the 9 or 10 mark for me just yet. It feels almost as clunky as Two Worlds at the moment.
Oh, that's some fucking slander, that is. Yeah, well, we'll get to that later on. I'm going to jump in very quickly with a bit of Alone in the Dark, if that's all right. We're going to say hello to some people who've put some comments in first, if I quickly do.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Microsoft Awards later on. So we've got OMFM here said they don't have the highest streak, but they busted their ass to get to 132 week streak, and it sucks doing all that work for nothing. Again, the reward stuff we'll get to properly later on, but basically the streaks are going to end in a couple of weeks, I think it is. I'll bring up the details later on. Graham, you had a massive streak at one point.
I did. I was up to 179.
179. Wow.
Yeah, and then I got broken when they changed the shitty front UI of the Xbox, and that's what knackered it for me, because I had all my groups nicely pinned, and then that shit new UI broke it.
Yeah. The less I say about my reward stats, the better. But we'll properly get into the news of that just a little bit later on. And our good friend Old Brew Company Gaming, also known as perhaps ladies' favourite Daniel, said he's gutting they're changing. However, it's free, and to be honest, they could cancel it altogether, and they haven't. So I mean, he's got a point. It is free money basically. Again, if you don't get yourself banned from it, but it's they can make some changes. So I think they're gradually going to make it worse and worse, because obviously it's free money, isn't it? And Microsoft is strapped for cash. But
I think they switched it. They're just using the bits where you got the tasks instead of doing all the gimmicky search for these kind of different things. Yeah. It's like play one game for it, play a game on it. On mobile, you get some points. Get an achievement in a Game Pass game, you get points. It's just, I think it was activities. I think it was called before.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. While we're discussing it, then let's just bring it up now, shall we? Let's just get on with it while we're talking about it now. I've got the Pure Xbox article here. They say Xbox is today announcing some major changes to the rewards program, which includes plans to begin rolling out a simplified rewards experience while also recalibrating. Sorry, I forgot the bunny quotes there. How users earn Microsoft reward points in the future. The first big change is that the old Microsoft Rewards app on Xbox consoles will be retired very soon, and the weekly sets and streaks will be discontinued on April 15th. In their place will be a new weekly bonus in the Xbox Rewards hub that will award users for playing a game of their choice on multiple occasions per week. And some other things you can do are playing games on Xbox and PC with the Xbox app for PC. Includes gaming activities available to all members and the Xbox Game Pass quests available to Game Pass members. Buying games and other eligible items from the store. Searching on Bing.com. You ever heard of Bing.com? Apparently it's quite good. Get five points per search, as they do now, I think. But again, you can only do so many per day. You can take advantage of special offers on new releases. Visit the rewards web dashboard and complete the daily set, which is like what you do now. And players will also better earn rewards for daily achievements, playing on PC, completing Game Pass quests. And then one more bit, and then I'll get your thoughts on it. It says, we know that previously Xbox Rewards was split across 3 separate experiences. So obviously that was a Game Pass app, the rewards app, and the PC side of things. New rewards hub will be more streamlined for players, combining separate rewards experiences into one convenient location. The new rewards hub brings together access to all offers and Xbox-related activities, and will be the destination on Xbox to set goals, earn and redeem points. And then they go on to say that they're going to recalibrate the way they do it, basically, to try and improve it. And they're also going to keep an eye on things, so if people are complaining too much, or if things are broken or not working as well as they could have done or used to, then they may very well change things up for the better, or probably for the worse. So again, I've got no stake in this game because, like a dickhead, I got myself banned from the reward system for trying to help out everybody. And I've got too many people in my household, basically, and I got shafted. But that's by the by. Graham, will you carry on with this new reward system? Do you think it's a good change?
It kind of happens by itself anyway. So I'd be surprised if you hadn't seen it, because every time you do one of the activities where it says play a Game Pass game, it pops up. Get an achievement in a Game Pass game, it pops up.
Oh, no, yeah, I turned all the notifications off because I was like, I can't do anything with them. So, no.
Oh, right. But I mean, it's just relatively easy to get those kind of points on those ones. So if they're just moving it from one side to the other, then yeah, that's no big deal. That's quite nice if they're just making that a bit better, making the location easier to get to. That would be not handy, being as they buggered it up with the new UI anyway.
They could very well add a top, like on the dashboard now, you've got your games and apps, the store,
that's
Game
what
Pass.
I'm wondering
If they had
what
a
they'll
little
do.
button up there, that would be ideal, really. Then I could be taunted every time I turn my Xbox on, but at least you know where it is.
Yeah, so if they do that definitely would be much handier to do. But with the Mr. OMFM, I kind of agree that sort of having those kind of high streaks is a bit of a killer, that you're going to lose it. But they never did anything really with it. With the daily ones on the mobile or the weekly ones that happen on the Xbox, it gets to a point where it's just like, for the weekly ones, like every 10 days, you get an extra bonus 2,000. It never changed after you've got stuff. And it's just the same stuff over and over again. It's just, you don't get like over 100, you get an extra special bit. It's just the same crap. It never really ramps up after that.
It was quite stretched out. It was like every 10 weeks in it where you get another 1,000 points or something.
Every 10 weeks. And that's like, it's not like it was anything sort of bust your balls for anyway. So it was supremely annoying when I did lose that streak, but it was just more the fact that for the streak rather than, now I won't get all those extra points. I've racked it. I've back up on to like 30, 40 or whatever it is kind of weeks now again anyway. And I'm still sort of, you only get it every sort of 10 weeks. So it's no big deal to sort of lose that bit. And the same goes for the daily ones. After you pass so many days, you only get the same increment every period anyway. So if they're doing away with those, then no much qualms, because you don't really gain too much from it. If they're making points easier to obtain via the new method, then who would be not enjoying that? If they're sort of more game orientated, some of the mobile ones are just tedious search for different crap and 5 different things of stuff. Which 5 of these are Justin Bieber songs? It's like, do not care.
They were especially tedious, especially if you tried to do it on them, because I had the Bing app for a while on my phone just to do like the searches, and it's so slow and so like unresponsive. It was almost not worth, like you said, not worth bothering doing, because not worth the fucking time and the effort for like 20 pence a week or whatever it worked out to be, something stupid like that.
But if it's based around gaming, then obviously that makes way more sense for the Xbox side of things. I think the mobile one might change as much, but for the gaming, at least they're connecting it so it's to you playing different games and stuff like that, because that's what it used to be. And the activities, it just looks like stuff for rewards, just link activities to rewards and make that the bigger thing, because it's more connected to kind of gameplay. Like usually it was like, get so many kills in this particular game on Game Pass to sort of get it and stuff. So if they keep those kind of things up, then why not? They're trying to encourage you to try out different games as well, and that's kind of the way it should be.
That's the idea. That was part of the good stuff I did used to enjoy doing, was, there's this, you get 5 points for trying this game, we're getting achievements in this, I'll give it a go, and then you find some decent games that way. But we'll see. Well, like I said, we got a couple of weeks until they end the streaks, and then I guess the new app will launch then, so we can get you to report back then. and see if it's worth me going back, groveling and begging to him. Please, can I have my account back? I'll be a good boy, I promise. We'll see.
Yeah, free money is free money, and especially so when you don't have to do much to do it. Just play some games and you get some extra getting paid for playing games.
Yeah.
Not much, but it's better than nothing.
It's better than the kick in the ass. So go
exactly.
and check it. And if you're not already a member and you're still able to be, you should just do it. I don't know. It's worth doing if you can. But before I upset Ian and especially gets Pete too much more, let's move on from that, shall we? Let's get back to some video games we've been playing.
Yes.
And like I said, I'll jump in with a bit of Alone in the Dark if that's all right. I know you helped me out with a little bit the other day. Did you play any on your own at all? Or I assume it's not really your cup of tea, is it?
No, I had plenty of content to be getting on with myself. I did tested it out to see if it killed my Xbox, which it did. But no, I haven't gone back to it. So, what are your thoughts on it?
Alone in the Dark, fucking awesome. Not as good as the Resident Evil remakes, but it's very heavily inspired by them. So it's like third person over the shoulder rather than static cameras again. It's sort of the pace of it feels very much like Resident Evil as well. You're not sort of really slow and doing lots of stealth, but also you're not just balls to the wall action all the time. It's sort of good, a bit of puzzling, a bit of combat, which isn't the greatest. A bit more puzzling, which is good. A bit of weird story going on. And then inevitably a boss fight or two comes along. It's even got, like in Resident Evil 2 and 3, and I think maybe 4, maybe not 4 actually, where it sort of zooms into the door when you put a key in, and the key sort of hovers itself in and turns with a little spotlight shone on it. Exactly the same as Resident Evil. It looks identical. Which I think probably helped me enjoy it because it's like Resident Evil. I like Resident Evil. And yeah, down to like just the way it's presented is very much Resident Evil 2 remake style. But it's a reimagining of the first game again. So you're at Deseto Manor and you get to play as either Edward Carnby, who's played by David Harbour from Stranger Things, or Emily Hartwood, who is played by Jodie Comer from Things to Be Determined, because I must admit I wasn't very familiar with her before I started playing the game. But she, for my money, is the more enjoyable campaign because they basically follow the same story, but you get sort of different cutscenes at the beginning and the end, and then towards the end of the game they both one sort of goes that way, one goes that way, and then they like converge back at the same boss fight again right at the end. And I enjoyed her side of things a bit more because they're there to search for her uncle, and she already knows all the people at this manor, so they have a bit more interesting interactions. Whereas Edward Carnby, he's like a complete stranger, so they're all very cold to him, and they don't really say anything to him. And his acting was good, but it was all very, what's the right word? Maybe stilted, I think is probably the right word. Like he was doing really good, like a camera focus on him, and then it'd be a real hard cut to someone else, and it just didn't seem to gel together very well. Whereas I felt Emily's ones did sort of gel together a bit better.
What is it with you and talking to people?
I love it. That's another reason I like Dragon's Dogma 2. You can talk to fucking everyone. Just every single person's got something to say. But yeah, it's good. The puzzles I quite enjoyed because it's nowhere near to the level of Dragon's Dogma, but you're sort of given a few tools, and then most of the time you have to sort of try and figure out the solution within what you've got. So you get, I forget the name of it now. It's like a little compass thing with symbols that are sort of aligned to numbers and stuff. And you'll see a puzzle and we have these symbols on there, and you have to use a codex to try and figure out what symbols you need based on the pattern of the numbers and all this sort of stuff. And it's not just, you're not going to be fucking whipping out the notebook and scribbling, diary entries down. Oh, I need to figure this out. It's not massively complicated, but it's more than just they give you the answer to try and, there's a padlock. Oh, the code is 213. Okay, right. Let's go back to the padlock. It's a little bit more involved than that. And there's some other sort of optional-ish puzzles where you can, find extra items and go to extra areas of the manor and stuff. And then every now and then shit hits the fan, and you walk out the door to where you've just been to a normal corridor, and you're in the fucking Louisiana Bayou, or in some weird sort of historic World War trenches, or all other manner of wonderful things, which I won't spoil too much for you. But and it's all like psychological horror, as it were. There's nothing really particularly scary or graphic, but it's all just weird. Like did I see that? Is that weird? And then there's weird creatures chasing you and stuff. And yeah, it's good. It's enjoyable. Like I said, I enjoyed Emily's side of it more. I played Carnby's side first. It took me about 10 hours to get through because I was on edge the whole time, because it does a really good job like developing the atmosphere and stuff. And you're never really sure if you're walking around a corridor if you're going to be safe or if it's going to be monsters or some other weird shit's going to happen. But when you play it through the second time, as Emily in my case, like I said, apart from the cutscenes and the bit at the end which changes, it's all identical. So I was just fucking sprinting everywhere. Just, I know nothing's going to pop out here. I'll just leg it down there. I'll go over here. No problem. And I did skip over a few of the optional puzzles then, but I was just like, let's get through it and see what happens at the end. There's optional things you can get which give you a weird alternate ending, which I haven't got yet because I would play for it twice in like 3 days. I don't really fancy playing for any more times, trying to find like 2 or 3 more things that I missed in the game at that time. But I might go back to it at some point. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. My review is on xboxtavern.com right now. I think I have 8.3. Yeah, if you like, I'm sorry, I said like Resident Evil, or if you played any of the other Alone in the Darks, maybe not the last one because apparently that was really shit. But I enjoyed the 360 one mainly again because you could set everything on fire, and that was the whole point of the game, was setting things on fire. It's fucking brilliant. But yeah, if you played that or Resident Evil or things like Clock Tower or stuff like that, then you probably enjoy this one. It's well worth checking out, I would say. Yeah, like I said, not your cup of tea, Graham, and I don't think really. But it's short enough and it's easy enough to get through without too much hassle, especially once you sort of realise that you're probably safe most of the time until you're not. And shit hits the fan and you're like, where am I? Why is the monsters chasing me? I had a few issues pre-launch, which, as you'd expect again, because it wasn't out yet. They had day one patch. One of which was just I couldn't get past the part on my Xbox Series X. Literally just kept turned the console off. It's all right now. It was just pre-launch, but and there were a couple other things which again they should have fixed by now, but I haven't played through the whole thing again. Is like sometimes the enemies would get stuck on scenery. So there was one bit where you get ambushed by about 6 or 7 enemies, and I literally just ran up a staircase and they couldn't get up the stairs, so I just stood at the top and picked them off. But then when I did it the second time, they did chase me up the stairs. So it was just a random potluck, and then other like audio glitches and a few visual things, but again nothing major, and these should all be fixed now as well. But yeah, I recommend it. Very good game. Not as good as Resident Evil 2 or 3 or 4, but yeah, definitely an enjoyable enough sort of psychological horror experience. Yeah, so go check out the review on xboxtavern.com right now. Graham, let's do one more game. Let's get this. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about a bit of Like a Dragon, or do you want to talk about what else you got on the list here? One of the other two
ones on the review.
Up to you. What? Take a pick.
We'll talk about the zombie one.
Oh, it would choose now, wouldn't it? Just because, like I said before we started, slight technical issues. Graham, as every now and then, just sort of shits the bed and he doesn't realise what's happening. So he just got up. It's just got up now, yeah. No. So Graham, start again. Sorry, you playing Paradise Sea or Welcome to Paradise Sea? Is that right?
Welcome to Paradise. Yeah. So that it feels very similar to the other zombie game I reviewed a while ago, which I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But it's just a kind of doesn't feel like a fully thrashed out and tested one. It's a bit buggy in kind of places, but the concept of it is quite clever. Yeah. So it's sort of an isometric kind of view of it, much to its fault, which I'll explain in a bit. But it's a zombie apocalypse kind of thing happens, and you're just trying to get basically off the planet. There's a little, I can't remember what his name is. It's a spoof of Elon Musk, something like Aaron Busk or something like that, and it's basically he's living on the moon with other people that are sort of weller-ups. And they're saying that you need to find your way of getting to us on the moon. So you have to find pieces of a rocket ship to sort of build your own rocket to get back up to get off that planet that's infested with zombies. And yeah, it's the combat's kind of quite simple enough. You sort of it's dual stick kind of shooting in different directions, or you can melee in different directions. But they've got to a point where they made it clever how you can control zombies using a mind control helmet. And so you get to a certain point that you find these hacking helmets, and you put them. Once you knock down a zombie, you can stick a hacking helmet on it, and then you can set it to do certain things. So you can give it a specific weapon, a specific set of armor, and say you can either heal me. You can give it a kind of instructions, almost sim-like instructions. You can give it 4 different instructions. So in combat, use your weapon and taunt the enemy, or when you're out of combat, collect things that you find on the floor and heal me. So he'll come over and start trying to bandage you if you get injured in battle, like after the battle. So it's quite cool. You can set kind of instructions for them. And it's got a little bit of a base building element where you can sort of have loads of different pylons, which is what controls the zombies. You can give them all different kind of instructions. Like you run the base that defense. You just protect everyone else in there. You dig for things and plant vegetables and stuff, and you just collect sticks. Just give them all kinds of different instructions. So it's quite cool that they've got that kind of element in the game. But you can have like up to 2 following you. Although if you unlock certain skills, they can have their own ones. But usually it's just you and 2 zombies that you can control. But most of them, their attacking times, they go rogue a lot. They just run off in different directions and they get themselves killed. But it's quite enjoyable and simple enough to play. Even my kids kind of got in on that one because you can have a second local player play it with you as well. And it's quite fun to play. It's kind of 2 people, but you're screen locked. So you can't sort of separate off, and that can become a problem.
Does it zoom out at all, or is it just literally the same distance apart?
Same distance apart, and it can get a bit clunky if one person's in one area and the other one's going the opposite way, because obviously you can't see anything coming towards you. And you can't rotate the screen either. It's proper fixed in that direction. And what some of those games in that isometric do is if you're going past a building, usually they just hide it so you can see where you are with it. This one doesn't do the greatest of times to do that bit. And because it's a fixed angle, there's an area with sort of warehouses in, and they put the door so it's aimed towards your down right. The door to open is that way. So you can't see into the building unless you get really close to the building, so you don't know what's coming in or out until you literally go through the door, and then you get the in-warehouse view of it. And it's just, a lot of shitty decisions like that. You can't see what's coming at you. It's too many times, so you just literally can't see what's coming your way. And there's one bit that's so minor, but it bugs me, is that they've done, like, the voice acting is a bit meh. But when you find like different like quest givers that you interact with, they'll talk and say their line, and there's literally like a 5 to 7 second pause at the end, like you're waiting for something to happen, and it doesn't, and then it just cuts off. I was like, why such an extended pause? But it's not just like a one-off; it's every person you talk to. They're just saying, Twinkies, I love Twinkies. Thanks for giving it to me. Like pause. Pause, 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 and then the screen cuts off and it goes back to the gameplay. I was like, why? It's like
they do not making use of the SSD to speed things up.
No, but it's not like it's loading. They're doing like a stupid like animation, like they're talking to you like that. The head's still going. Sometimes the mouth's still going. It's almost like maybe they're doing like extended dialogue. Was this translated from someone who used like 700 words to say 10 things in English? And it's just rambling on. But
Strange. I was actually, but now you mentioned that quickly. Dragon's Dogma 2. Fuck it. Why have you got to press A after every sentence? Every time you talk to someone. Just get on with it. I just want to sit back and listen to what you got to say. Hello there. Press A. Welcome to the. Why didn't you just carry on?
I did notice that bit as well. But I don't know why it's so annoying when it just doesn't flow.
I could understand if like you've got to make a choice or something, but there's literally no point. Just press.
There's no choice. You just
anyway.
Dialogue.
Sorry. Anyway, back to Paradise. So it's top-down isometric action. Is it like it's not like an open world type thing? It's just set levels, I'm assuming.
There is set levels. There is an open world-ish plan, but each of the different areas are level recommended rather than locked. So it goes in here, sort of, this area is like level 20 to 30. So if you go in there with a lower level, you're going to get rinsed, basically. So you can free roam, but it's at your own peril. And some areas are kind of locked off until you've got a certain key or progress so far in the story. But there's lots of different crafting in there as well. As you progress, you upgrade your weapons to sort of match your level. And so it keeps it kind of fresh that way. And the higher you get flamethrowers, machine guns, advanced crossbows and bows, and like machetes and chainsaws, and you the more zombies you kill that have certain equipment on, you can unlock equipment for your zombie to then use as well. So you can program your zombie to have it. And they have these things, like clever setups. So they've got like recommended. They like leave these like little mini tutorial videos there to say, here's a special zombie setup for you. And it's like, if you wear the shredder armor and a chainsaw and then give them use and torn, so your character chases after zombies, but it also gets them to come to you. Either way, they're getting chopped up. So basically, it's a way of sort of like gives you specific designs. Like they're almost saying, this is a recommended way of using your zombie this way to sort of progress in this kind of area. Sort of set it so they're going to chop things up a lot. This one might be sort of shoot and keep running, because it says if your zombie's health gets below a certain amount, it flees and runs away from danger to heal itself. And then once its health gets back, it'll come back into the fray and start fighting a bit more. So you can kind of hit certain conditions so that you can do advanced things. So it says shoot just the zombies around you, or shoot just certain type of people around you. So you can really kind of set sort of specific instructions, which is quite a clever way of doing it. So I quite
sounds
like
a lot
that
more in depth than I expected when I sort of saw the trailer and read a little about it. But
the game, yes, I mean the gameplay's basic enough, the combat's basic enough. You're just aiming and shooting and hitting, rolling, dodging, and stuff like that. But it's got like a bit of base building in there. So I've built like a kind of a super base, but you can only build as much as your power allows. You can't go over your power limit. But it's like you can build walls, you can build spike traps, and one of your defense people keeps setting off the spike traps and spinning cleavers. So anyone that tries to invade your base, they get sort of spiked up and chopped up before they get to your base. So there's some sort of fun elements, like they keep this sort of a bit more fresh to go that way. But there's just some of the camera angle kind of style choices on that game make it a pain in the ass to kind of to do. It's just because you kind of die a lot. And the other kind of annoying bit is to upgrade your weapon shack thing so you can like craft the more advanced weapons. You have like a super zoo circus animal to kill, and the first one's like a giant zombie elephant that you have to kill. And it's not hard, they've just made it long. So it's got that health bar that just depletes tiny bit after you sort of rifling it with arrows or shooting. It's like, you can easily roll out the way and just keep evading it, but it's just the continuous shoot. And then the second one you do is a giraffe, and all they've done is put little mini ledges for you that your character can just hop over, but your zombies, however, splat. They just keep doubling over and falling over and roly-polying over ledges. I was like, oh great, so now you just made them redundant, so it's just me taking out the giraffe that keeps running backwards and forwards, and it just I think it took a solid sort of 10 to 15 minutes just to kill this thing. And just like I said, it's not hard. They just made it long. I'd rather it was a bit trickier, but shorter. Like I just go...
It's a battle of attrition constantly. Just like, just get on with it. Yeah, no.
And it's it's a challenge, like a side challenge. You have to do it to get the higher grade weapons. So it's like, that's such a shitty choice. It's like, you could have just made this slightly different and it would have been way more fun than you just made it tedious. I was like, there's fun. They've made some bits of it like trickier, sort of as you're fighting this thing. Sometimes they throw some zombies at you, sometimes they throw the rat, so you can't just get comfy and dodge. Now you've got something else to think about. I was like, that's fine. That makes it a bit tricky. I enjoy that bit, but don't make the enemy take that long to die. It's just unnecessary. But I'm still kind of enjoying it. It's, like I said, it's not refined by any means, but it's quite a good kind of playthrough, and even locally, like it's kind of a flashback to games that you can play with a buddy locally, and you get a good playthrough out of it. It's quite decent to sort of play quite locally.
Nice. So, like I said, you're enjoying it with the kids. I'm assuming it's not massively violent, even though it's all zombies and stuff. It's more cartoony violence.
It is kind of, it's not the sort of almost Poundland, Borderlands style graphics. It's not like high res, but it's kind of that kind of animation. But yeah, it's just chopping up zombies. So it's a bit like isometric, tiny kind of zombies. So they weren't affected by anything that way. But
fair enough.
Yeah, it was a bit of fun, and they kind of enjoyed it, and yeah, not too bad.
Nice. Well, we can look forward to your review on xboxtavern.com very shortly, I'm sure. Indeed. I'm going to jump in with some quick pluggals right now, and then I think we've got some other news stories that we can get to, but I do want to talk about one other game, so maybe we'll do one more each after the break. But yeah, we'll get into some pluggals now. Normally Scottish Gruff Ross's job, but he's not here this week. So again, thank you very much for watching / listening to us on Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern. Recorded each and every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Solo-ish.
Solo plugglish, nice. We mainly on YouTube is great. If you're watching along, you can see all of our lovely faces. And again, the quiz, which we're going to do hopefully next week, as well as we've done the 3 or 4 so far. You can go back and watch them. They're lots of fun. Play along with us. See how are you doing all the rounds that we have done so far and the ones we're going to do next Sunday. If you'd like to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever else you listen to your wonderful podcasts, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. You can find all of our written stuff on xboxtavern.com. As I've mentioned many times already, I'll have a list for some of our more recent reviews that we've put up this week for you a little bit later on. Socials and all that goodness is going on the bottom of the screen. You can find some Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and wherever else ladies' favourite Daniel likes to put us, because he loves all of it, social goodness. And again, follow us there. You can find lots of tips and tricks videos and clips from games that we're playing and highlights from other podcasts that we've done. Obviously, we've done 150 odd of these already, so if you want to see some highlights from some of them, check them out. You can find us on Discord as well. There's a link down below where we do weekly guest a game. We haven't done the guest a game today, Graham, and we might skip over it. I'm not sure either of our computers would be able to handle doing that this week. But we'll see. Maybe we'll do it at the end. But I love doing that game every day. We put it in a Discord. We have a little competition. At the minute, I have a competition myself, so please come and join and show me how it's done. But we also chat about games we're playing and various other bits and pieces. So that's wonderful on there. We've got CD Keys affiliate link on the site. So if you go on to xboxtavern.com, you'll see a little banner down the side or at the top. If you click on that when you go to CD Keys, it doesn't cost you any extra, but it just chucks a few pennies back to us of whatever you purchase. So that'd be wonderful if you could help us out and use that. And also insertcoinclothing.com. We've got a promo code with them for £5 off orders over 50 quid. Valid for the rest of 2024. It is XBXTVRN. It's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It's insertcoinclothing.com and it's XBXTVRN for £5 off orders over £50. Got my Dead Space hoodie on this evening. Let me see if I can turn around without breaking everything.
Ooh,
very cool.
Fancy.
I very much like it. It also zips right the way up, so it looks like you're wearing Isaac's mask. I'm not going to do it right now because I've got my headphones on. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this one.
In case you don't need to see.
I used to wear it when we went on the Small World ride at Disney because I fucking hate that ride. So I just zip it right the way up so I can't see or hear anything. But I had to undo it because I was get shouted at by the kids. But yeah, it's great website. They've got loads of great clothes on there, and I've got lots and lots of other clothes upstairs in my cupboard. I was going to hang them all up behind me this evening, but I didn't get a chance to in the end. So yeah, go check them out. Insertcoinclothing.com. Yeah, I think that's about all the pluggals. Ross, I hope I did you proud. Ian as well.
Yep.
I hope I did you proud. But let's go back to a few more video games, and then we'll talk about a couple of quick news items, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So, Graham, have you played any of WWE 2K24 yet?
No, I have not.
I have been playing it. I've reviewed it just over a week ago now, I think, whenever it was it come out. And I think I gave it 9 out of 10. Very, very much enjoyed it. Very good. And I've been playing it a bit more since then. And it's been a long time since I've played like a WWE game like properly.
Yeah.
We've obviously dabbled in it when we've had like gaming nights, or we've sat up and watched WrestleMania or what have you.
Is it
But the
baptism glory?
the last one I properly played was WWE 2K20, which I reviewed, which was utter shit. If you anyone out there's played it, you know it was fucking dreadful. But before that, the last one I properly got into, where I made characters and I went through the story, the single player, whatever it was in that game, I think it was SmackDown versus Raw. 2005, 6, whatever it may have been, a long time ago. Like I said, sort of dabbled in and out with games in there, but I've never really properly got into one until this one. And I am, it's probably old news to people who've played 2K22 and 23 properly. But I'm blown away by the detail in the character customization, in the way you got the showcase mode, which is like the main highlight of the game this year. Or like the main focus, I should say, of the game this year. You got my faction, my GM, my universe, my rise, my something else. There's so many different modes, and they're all basically like fully fledged games in their own right. My faction's like a collectible card game, like a roguelike type thing. So you go through and you collect cards and you battle based on the card you've got. Blah blah. I don't really enjoy that side of things, so I sort of skipped over that mode. It's not really my cup of tea, but. The showcase is pretty good, although it did drag on a little bit. It's got like 20 odd matches throughout WrestleMania's history this time. And so you start, I think, WrestleMania 3 with Hogan and Andre the Giant, perhaps?
Why you sound like you don't know who he is?
No, I can't remember if that's the first one or if there's... No, I think the first one is Macho Man and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. I think that's the first one they do. And then, they don't have one from every WrestleMania, but they have... like the bigger ones from throughout history. So, for example, there's 2 from WrestleMania 39, 2 from WrestleMania 35 or 36 as well. So they're just picking the big matches, and obviously there's some other ones in there, like when Brock Lesnar beats the Undertaker's streak. My personal one, which I was looking forward to, which they kind of ruined, in my opinion, was John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse match. Because they have to do so much editing, like cutting out logos on people's t-shirts and cutting out the faces of referees and video clips and stuff. They just completely butchered like what made that match, what made that cinematic experience a masterpiece in my eyes. It's still enjoyable, but yeah, they cut out a lot of the good stuff. But obviously that wasn't really a wrestling match. That was more just a bit of cinema with a couple of punches thrown. But the actual matches themselves, you basically go through and you complete objectives. Have you played any of the ones with the showcase modes, like Rey Mysterio or John Cena?
I remember that, having to do that bit.
So at first I was really enjoying it, because you sort of, it's like complete 3 body slams, or throw them out the ring and fight them on the side, at the side of the apron, little bits like that. And I was like getting into it, and then every now and then you'll get like a clip from the actual match, so it was sort of like transition to the real footage, and you could see what was actually happening, and Corey Graves is narrating over the top of it. But again, they cut out all the commentary, all the actual audio from the clip, so it's a bit weird. You're sort of watching it, but you're just listening to sort of generic crowd noise, and then Corey Graves talking over it. And some of them are like 10 seconds, and some of them, like I think it was Rock and Stone Cold, whatever WrestleMania that was. The video clip ended the match, and it went on for about 6-7 minutes. But because again, you're not listening to the actual audio, you're just listening to and Corey Graves every now and then chiming in. It was so. Can I wrestle again, or are you just going to make me watch this? Either I'm going to watch the match, or I'm going to play the game. And again, they blurred out the ref's face, they blurred out JR's face, they blurred out the logos around the stadium. At the time, it was still WWF, I think, so they blurred out all the WWFs. And yeah, it's weird that they have to do. I guess they have to. I don't see why, because they don't do it on their network. But by the by, and yeah, by the time I got to the end of it, I was just trying to literally do the objectives and get through it. You don't have to complete the objectives, but you unlock extra stuff for, like, you create a wrestler or different like outfits or eras of other wrestlers and stuff to play with. But my universe mode is what I was playing today. And you can either take your creator character, create a character or a superstar through, and you just go through, play matches, creating rivalries, going for titles, going for like feuds and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I was really enjoying that. I set myself up, made a little stable with me and Bray Wyatt, or the Fiend, I should say. and we were facing off against the Judgment Day. And for some reason, it kept pairing me with is it JD McConnor? He's one of the Judgment Day members, but he was with me against the Judgment Day, and I don't want to be with him. I literally paired myself with like the Fiend and a few other people, so I could be tag team partners with them. Why do you keep putting me with this fucking little turd? And then I ended up losing because he got counted out. You fucker. But yeah, it's good. It's enjoyable, and it's like it's way more fun to play than I remember the old ones being, because there's so much to do. It's not just a case of you've got like 8 moves each and you just have to rinse and repeat until you get to the end. There's so many different variations on even just grabbing them and pressing one button. Every wrestler's almost got a different move. You can alternate it with like flicks of the stick as well. It depends whether you're facing them or behind them or out the ring or in the ring or on the apron or on the ramp, on the turn, but all this sort of stuff. And it's so much more in depth than I ever remember any of the old ones. Obviously, it's the brand new one, but yeah, I was having a great time playing it. It's not perfect. There's little things here where occasionally you'll try and grab them, but because you were like a foot away in the wrong direction, you'll, instead of missing them or grabbing them, you'll sort of bounce off and you'll be like, oh, what? No, why's my guy stunned because I couldn't grab hold of him? And then they'll come and punch me in the face, or occasionally, like in the showcase, it'll challenge you with building up 3 finishes and doing a super finisher to sort of get the end of the match or whatever you. But if they reverse that, then you've got to build it all up again. And it takes fucking ages sometimes as well to build it up. So there's little foibles in there. Again, not perfect in my eyes, but I'm really enjoying playing it a lot more than certainly 2K20. And I've made my character, and it took fucking ages. And I made him an entrance, which I'm not very happy with, but at the minute it's going to have to do because I haven't got the time to sit there spending hours doing it. But it's so detailed. Like it's like you can upload your own photos now. So I uploaded the Tavern logo to put on my guy's t-shirt. You can upload your face if you want to try and put your face on the character. It didn't work very well for the one I did earlier, but I was only doing it quickly. And yeah, I mean, some of the creations and that people have created, like Jeff Hardy, MJF, Edge, all these characters that are in AEW or no longer alive or wrestling or whatever you. And because you can upload your own pictures, they've got like the actual sort of still shots for their profile picture, and then they've got their sort of outfits and tattoos and everything is fucking spot on. It's fucking incredible.
I remember they used to allow this, and then they kind of cut that short because people started taking liberties and creating Michael Jackson and all kinds of shit. Yeah, I imagine all of that stuff's back now anyway.
Yeah. I haven't seen any Michael Jacksons yet, but I did watch a YouTube video earlier on where they highlighted some of the people's creations, and Michael Jackson's was one of them. And they made like Tommy Pickles from the Rugrats. All sorts of, because it's so like you can adjust like the fine tune. Like when I was trying to put my photo on the guy, you can literally like fine tune like 4 points on just the lip alone, just trying to get it in the right place. It's so detailed, and if I had this game when I was a kid and we were making our D-Generation Best File faction, we would have been fucking laughing, absolutely laughing. But now I don't really have the time to get into it. But yeah, the general minute-to-minute gameplay is really good. And yeah, the options are just insane. Like I said, my rise, my faction, my universe, all that stuff. I don't want to give them suggestions or ideas, but you could quite easily probably just sell them as their own games, and no one would have bat an eyelid. But the fact they're all in it, it's just, I don't think I'll ever need another wrestling game again, at least not for a very long time, because I'm never ever going to get through all the stuff that's in this one as it is. And it's got the Fiend and all sorts of Bray Wyatt stuff in it, which is another big reason I wanted to pick it up as well. Because rest in peace, rest in peace. Yeah, really, really good game. I'd definitely be good when we get together again at some point soon to have a wrestle.
Definitely piqued my interest. I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah, again, it's the kind of game we would have absolutely loved when we were kids, but unfortunately, time is what it is now, and it's a bit. Unless you're literally just going to play that game, which we're not going to do. It's I haven't got the time to get into it. But yeah, really, really clever stuff, and really, really, very, very good. I highly recommend if you're into the old graps, go check it out. Graham, let's do one more. Do you want to talk about Night After, whatever it is, or do you want to tell us about your experience with Like a Dragon?
Okay, I'll save the other one to then. I'll finish off Like a Dragon. that is, immense. It's
Oh, well done. Before you carry on, we're getting a bit more technical issues. I'll just fill in for a second. Graham's finished Like a
such.
Dragon
Oh,
recently, and I've
back yet?
been enjoying it as well. Like I said earlier on, it's one of those games I'd never really got into before, but man who raised his name I really enjoyed last year, and I was really enjoying Like a Dragon earlier this year, but I've got so sidetracked with I don't know how many other games. I will get back to it though. But yeah, really enjoying it. Graham, sorry, you're back. You finished Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
I did. And they did a lot of things. It was starting to concern me the way they sort of did a lot of touching of the older games and looping things back and bringing back characters from the older games. A lot of big players, and they all did kind of play a part. It was all pretty cool, and yeah, it kind of left the ending a bit open ended. So it's not the finale I thought they might try and do. So there's still potential for it to carry on and for him to live on.
Oh, exciting! So I don't really like doing hour counts necessarily, but how long did it take you to get through? Because it's not a short game, is it?
No, I think I was in the 60, 70 hour mark.
Okay.
And that's doing quite a big chunk of a lot of the different side kind of quests. But I didn't play everything that you can kind of do on there. I'm not a big fan of some of the Japanese card games that have on there, and the mahjong and the other things that I just don't know how to play. But I did a lot of the chat date thing that you could do on there, but you have to sort of keep playing with your personalities to be able to unlock everyone on there. And I just wanted to get through the game by that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a couple of little kind of quirks. I think you can do. I did a lot of the Sujimon kind of area, but at the end of it, you can do sort of challenges. But I never really did any of those bits either. So there's still sort of plenty of content you can go back and kind of play through and do those bits. But as far as the main story and the main kind of side quests, I did pretty much all of those. I don't think I missed anything of theirs.
Yeah. Nice. So, you've played most of them. You haven't played them all, but would you rate this as one of your more highly rated version, Like a Dragon / Yakuza games?
Oh yeah. It's definitely in the sort of the top ones. It's not the best one, but it's definitely one of my more favorite ones. Just because of all the different kind of characters that come back to sort of play it through, and you get to see them. But yeah, it will take a lot to knock the main one off its perch. I think Yakuza 0 is definitely going to take a lot of beating to knock that one off. That one had the best kind of story and gameplay and everything around that one. But yeah, I like all these kind of ones connected to it. Even the connected ones like Lost Judgment, that was pretty decent as well. Yeah. But I'll say this is on par with that one. There's different types of combat, but for an amount of sort of graphical detail and story-wise, I think, completion and perfectionist-wise, they're probably on par because there was just so much content, so much to do in each of those kind of games. And
I was finding, I'm going to.
I was about to say, story-wise, it gets a bit blurry again, and it's not as interesting towards the end. But the kind of story of why they're doing what they're doing, it's kind of less Yakuza-ish and gangsterish and more a bit environmental and a bit wishy-washy. But in terms of all the characters and their kind of relationships and development, then that was pretty good. The storyline and the twists in it were epic, but it's just the underlying story itself was a bit, it was hard to sort of feel it as much.
You won't cry by the end of this one as well, then?
There was a chunk of confusion around one side of it, and then a lot of cliffhanger-ish kind of style on the other side.
Yeah, fair enough. So, was it like 17 chapters? Is it something like that? I think I'm on chapter 5 now. But I've been, like I said to you before, I've been stuck in Dodoku Island for a while trying to do that. But I think when I get back to it at some point, I'm not sure when, I'll probably just going to leave and just carry on with the main game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. It's did the combat obviously like semi-real, semi-turn based. Did it change much towards like later on? Did you get many different powers or different abilities or anything, or was it just
Not different
pretty much the
powers.
same, just
There's
stronger?
just well, no, it's not even stronger. It's just depending on how you want them to play. It's all about getting that
Mm,
kind of balance here, because some of the different job types are more defensive than others. Some of them are more skill based. Some of them are just normal attack based, and
mm,
some of them are just middling each of them.
mm,
And some of it you just want to see them how they are. Like ladies can be like a tennis player, or you can be like a pyro dancer, or
mm,
and like a surfer, and there's loads of different kind of sort of jobs. It's just fun to see him in like a quarterback role. I had one of the guys as an American footballer. It just looks a bit odd and quite funny to sort of watch
mm.
him take that kind of role. But the gunslinger was, yeah, it was a little bit overpowered, the gunslinger one, but it was just fun watching him kind of shoot around. But there's so many different jobs, and because you get to a point in the game where it switches between sort of Ichiban's party and Kiryu's party, and they both kind of got 4 or 5 members that they can switch between. So there's plenty of option to keep things rotating and try out all the different kind of jobs to see what they're like.
Mm.
So yeah, it just literally there's no super benefit to picking one of the jobs over the other. It's just what you think would be more interesting, or how you
Yeah,
think would balance your team up a bit more.
fair enough. Fair enough. Nice. So done now. Gonna go back to try and do some of the ones you've missed, Yakuza 5 and 6, whatever it was. I can't remember what we got to before.
Yeah, if I
Or
ever get
you
that
gonna,
kind of time.
I was gonna say you could have a break from all these fucking massive RPGs and play some smaller games in between.
No, well, I was having a taste of Dragon's Dogma 2, which I need to give it a bit more, and I eventually need to go back and finish off Baldur's Gate as well, because I'm gutted
Yeah.
that I didn't get to finish that one, but so many other ones I had to chip in and do. But and obviously the Yakuza one came in the midst of Baldur's Gate, so
Yes.
and that, obviously I had to take that one as priority.
Too many games, not enough fucking time. God damn it.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Yes. Nice. Cool. Right. Thank you very much. So a bit like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, well worth playing. Highly recommended. Although it's the only one I believe is not on Game Pass. So
For
for now, yeah. So go pick it up, go check it out, and yeah, let us know what you think down below. All the YouTuber stuff that they do. Right.
yes.
We've got a couple of quick stories, I think, because where are we at now? An hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, that's not bad, is it? Between the two of us, hour and 20 minutes, talk about Dragon's Dogma. We can just talk more about Dragon's Dogma, but let's talk some new stuff. Did you, I know we spoke about it just before we started. Did you watch that Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra trailer?
I did, and it does look quite impressive graphically. It looks immense.
It certainly does. So this is from Skydance New Media. The Amy Hennig, person who created and wrote the original Uncharted trilogy. She's been bouncing around a little bit. She had a few hits and misses with getting projects off the ground, but this is her latest one for Marvel. It's got Captain America and sort of a Black Panther's granddad, I think they called it, but I can't remember his actual name in this particular one. Captain Azuri, the Black Panther of the 1940s, and basically set in 1943 amidst the World War. And I mean, if you watch the trailer, I would try and play it for you, but again, I don't want things to shit the bed on the tech end as well. So yeah, go check it out. It's up on YouTube and stuff now. And technically, it looks fucking incredible. It's set in Unreal 5.4 or whatever it was they talked about at the Epic Showcase a few weeks ago. But yeah, the technical work on display, like the facial capture and the animation and the sheer amount of detail and everything going on, looks absolutely stunning. I'm not traditionally a Marvel guy at all, but I've watched this trailer about 3 or 4 times because I was like, oh, fuck it looks amazing. And it actually got me quite excited to check out the game, even though, again, it's not normally my cup of tea. There's no real gameplay in the trailer, although there's little hints and bits when they're sort of fighting some of the soldiers and stuff. But it says here, little blurb they've got for it says, in the chaos of war, I'm not going to do it the whole time, worlds collide. Captain America and Azuri, the Black Panther of the 1940s, must overcome their differences and form an uneasy alliance to confront their common enemy. Fighting alongside Gabriel Jones of the Howling Commandos and Nanali, a Wakandan spy embedded in occupied Paris, They must join forces to stop a sinister plot that threatens to turn the havoc of World War II into the ultimate rise of Hydra. Again, I'm sure if you're familiar with Marvel, some of that will make more sense to you. But all I know is it looks fucking awesome, and I want to go punch some people in the face. Did the trailer get you interested to check it out, Grayman?
Yeah, definitely. It looked. I mean, I want to see some more sort of gameplay style things, but I mean, cinematics made it look like it could be a decent game. I mean, I just don't know what sort of game it's going to kind of be. A lot of these kind of look good, but play something completely different. So yeah, no, it definitely piqued my interest, but I want to see some sort of gameplay of how this thing's actually going to look and play. Because the Avengers game kind of looked amazing from the outside in, but the gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely shit the bed. I think we should be on to a bit of a winner here, just because again it's from
kind of
some highly highly well developed people, well respected developers, I should say. There we go. Get me English together. But yeah, we'll see. Next year is supposed to be coming out. We'll see if there's more information over the summer, or perhaps towards the end of the year at the Game Awards and stuff like that. But yeah, very, very good indeed. Go check out the trailer, like I said, and watch it on the nicest screen you've got, because don't watch it on your phone. I don't think it'll do justice. You need to have a nice big 4K screen, and just get your headphones on or get your speakers up, what have you, and just go along for the 3 or 4 minutes, whatever it is, to enjoy it a lot. Very, very good. Very, very good indeed. Let's do one more quickly, because again, Max Payne's getting a big budget, but I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less from Remedy. You excited about Max Payne? I know you like Max Payne himself, but you excited about playing the remakes? Oh, we've lost him again. I'm sorry, Graham. I set you up for a fail there. I'm sorry. Carry on. We got you. Yeah. Why not? Good.
Yeah,
Max Payne goodness.
I did like the original 2 on there. I mean, obviously, it started the whole bullet time thing, and yeah, if they're going to redo those ones and change the expression, as long as they leave the same expression on the face and just keep the rest of the game.
A lot of games now, like Resident Evil 2 Remake and Alone in the Dark, have like old polygonal models from like the Saturn and PlayStation era, where you can change to and have them. So if they have that as an option, where you can just change to him with his sort of grimace, my wife and kids are dead,
with the same sort of smirk on his face.
Yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, obviously they've done very well with things like Alan Wake 2 recently, so you should expect nothing less but then very, very good stuff. But we shall see. And then the big one, I guess we should probably spend a little bit of time on, is big rumors on a PS5 Pro coming this year. And what does that mean for Xbox and potential? A lot of the things I've been reading about and listening to have talked about GTA 6 next year. If you've got a super powered new machine on the PlayStation side that can play it at 60 frames 4K, is that going to tip the edge to them even more and be like, well, I'm going to get a super PlayStation so I can play GTA 6 in the best possible way possible? But yeah, I mean, some of the specs, again, from Pure Xbox. Yeah, hi, Pure Xbox. You're powering the show this evening. Some of the specs apparently include a 28% increase in system memory, a special super resolution upscaling solution, and a GPU that renders 45% faster than the standard console. And then they go into some more numbers like 33 teraflops of blah, 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 and all that sort of nonsense. Basically, it's going to be a lot more powerful. But will it make a difference? Because we've had the PS4 Pro and the the Xbox One X and stuff, obviously, and they were more powerful, but obviously games have still got to run on the old machines like the Series S now and the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I'll get them around eventually, and of course the original PS5 as well. So although it might run things better, it's not actually going to make a massive difference. But Xbox have also said that they're going to announce some sort of new console stuff later this year. Or Sarah Bond, I think, said it in their developer business update a few weeks ago. But they all have also said that they don't plan on doing like a mid-gen refresh like this. So it'd be more like like the leaks, where it'd be like a discless version of the Series X rather than a more powerful version. 2 questions for you. One, would you be interested in buying a more powerful Xbox? I know obviously you're not going to buy a PlayStation, but would you be more interested in buying a more powerful Xbox? And do you think that they need to release a more powerful Xbox, even though they obviously said that they don't intend on it. Do you think something like the PS5 Pro might force their hand in order to go down that avenue yet again?
No, they don't need to do it. It all depends on what's changing. Like I said, if it's just to play certain games in a slightly better resolution and everything, then yeah, all they're doing is hurting the world, if anything, sort of having to produce more chips and stuff for all the people that are going to get giddy over a slightly better version of it just to have that slightly better version. But yeah, if it's not the next gen, if it's just a slightly upscuffed one, then yeah, it's a bit of, so what? What's it going to actually really do? There's people that care about frames. There's plenty of them, and they can enjoy them. They can pay for the privilege of enjoying those extra couple of frames.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, obviously the consoles now, in our money, in English money, it's what, 450 quid each. You know, for the powerful ones or the big boy ones. If you've got a pro version, it's probably going to be 550, maybe even 600 quid. And like you said, you're going to get some more frames. But even the tech wizards over at Digital Foundry were discussing this in a special podcast the other day, and they were like, it would be nice, obviously, for them because that's their sort of bread and butter, but they don't see it actually making a massive difference, like to the general public. Most people wouldn't even notice the difference. They'd only get it because there's a more powerful version. Aside from the hardcore who are going to go out and buy an upgrade of trade their one in or whatever to get a new one, it's not really going to sort of set the world on fire. And they don't see, unless you've got a serious sort of push for a new CPU, a new GPU, sort of from the ground up, as it were, not just a more modified version. I don't think there's not really going to be a massive amount of point to it. Don't get me wrong. Again, 15 years ago, if we were in this situation and they were like, hey, you can have a more powerful console. Yeah, why not? I'd probably be one of the ones that would buy it. But at this point, don't really need it, don't really want it. I'm quite happy with what we got until, like you said, we get a proper next gen console, which has all sorts of new bells and whistles on it, rather than just being like, turn it up to 11.
It just make a point of, why can't they just make the current bit more sustainable rather than just keep wasting time with more this kind of development? Just having a bit that's slightly future proof, so you can take your X out and swap out this unit for like a slightly better sort of GPU unit and just make it easy accessible to switch these bits out. A better graphics card or a better thing, so you're paying the money for those bits, like an extra 150 quid for each bit, but then you get those extra boosts and you keep the same console rather than sort of buying a flat-out new one just for the sake of it.
Well, I suppose what you've just described there is PC gaming, but then you're into very expensive territory. Like a graphics card is like 3 times the cost of a console as it is right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky. Because, I mean, PlayStation have experimented with modular stuff, like the new revision they've done recently. You can get one without a disc drive, but then buy the disc drive to add on. Obviously, it doesn't affect the power of it, but in the past we've had the 64 N64 like memory card you could put in to give it a whole 4 megabytes extra memory. You've had the Saturn the 32X for the Mega Drive, the Sega CD and stuff like that. So there's been things in like that in the past, but they have never really done very well. And I think part of the appeal of console gaming is just, I've got a box, and that's my box for the next 6-7 years. That'll do me, thank you very much. And again, like, it's nice to have decent frame rates, obviously. But I played Alone in the Dark. The first time I played it on performance, which was 60 frames ish. And second time I played it on quality or whatever it is they called it. And to be honest, after the first 5 minutes, where I noticed it was noticeably, obviously, like slower, didn't really bother me. I stuck for the rest of the game on quality right until the end boss when I changed it back just to see if I noticed a difference. And I'd obviously noticed it, but it didn't like, oh man, this is so much better. It's just it's the same game still. It just runs slightly smoother, and paying and whatever it would be for a new console to have that across the board. Yeah, for me right now. Yeah. Of course, if I win the lottery, I'll buy everything. But right now, I really don't need it, and I don't think we properly need it. And I think what they said about the business update is it's going to be more like you were saying, like looking at what's next rather than here's a slight improvement. They're going to be like, here's what we're planning for, in 2 years' time, whatever, when the next Xbox console comes out. That's before they stop selling consoles, obviously, and go completely third party and put their games on PlayStation, and the world bans and everything explodes, and we shit the bed completely. That was a ridiculous time. That was a ridiculous few weeks, wasn't it? But we're past it now, at least.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves doing very well on PlayStation, but pre-orders anyway. It's not out yet, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, fill your boots. But for us, we don't really need a super duper ultra edition right now. The Xbox Series X is still plenty powerful enough. I think does a decent enough job for
stick a 30 frame on top of your
people.
TV for an extra frame.
Yeah. Well, there was also, I was listening to another podcast. I think it's Sacred Symbols. So I can't remember, but they did they asked a developer or something of a game. They didn't name them, but they sort of asked for behind the scenes stuff, and they said most people play their game on quality mode anyway, so they're only playing at 30 frames as it is. So if you get in a super duper machine that could do 6, they're not. I don't care. I'm quite happy with what I've got, as you should be. Enjoy your video games. Don't worry about the nitty gritty so much, unless it's literally unplayable. Just enjoy yourself. Play some video games. Have a good time.
Exactly.
Yes. Right. That's all the news, Rail. I won't bore you with Resident Evil talk because it's only me and you, and we've been going long enough. We can get back to that next week, perhaps. But yeah, I think that's the majority of the show done. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching / listening. We're going to get into the rounding off of the show right now, which includes things coming to Game Pass.
Yes. And so the things that have come in already, on March the 19th, we welcomed Lightyear Frontier and MLB The Show 24. And we have on the 20th, we had The Quarry join us. And on March 21st, we had Evil West. And the things coming to we got Terra Invicta, which is just for the PC coming. You've got Last Case of Benedict Fox, Death Edit on March the 26th. And then on March the 28th, we got the big one, Diablo 4's coming. And we got Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 and Open Roads coming on March 28th.
Very much looking forward to Open Roads. Definitely my cup of tea. A lot of talking in that one, Graham. I know you enjoy that. And obviously Diablo 4, we've been waiting for a long time for it to come, so that'd be good to get into that properly. Might even be Project Game Pass next month. We never know. We'll find out. But what about stuff that's leaving us? There's always stuff going as well as coming.
Apologies. We're back.
So I didn't really just froze it. No. Carry on, sir. Carry on. What's leaving Game Pass?
So we have 3 things that are apparently leaving very soon. We have Infinite Guitars that are leaving MLB The Show 23 to make space for the new one, and Hot Wheels Unleashed.
So yeah, go check them out. I think Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 has recently come onto Game Pass. So yeah, those last 2 sort of trade in old for the new. And Infinite Guitars, I must admit I'm not familiar with that game, but I've got a few days to go check it out. Should you wish. Right.
Indeed.
Graham, we made it. 1 hour and 40 minutes of just the gruesome twosome playing and talking about Dragon's Dogma, WWE, Infinite Wealth, all sorts of good games. A bit of news in there.
Yep.
So thank you very much for everybody for listening / watching. Like I said, you can find us every Sunday 8 p.m.
Ish.
Nice. Solo extended-ish on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, where you can also become a member, where we for as little as 99 pence a month, I believe it is, you can get some extra videos behind the scenes, after darks and all sorts of stuff. So if you'd be so kind, that'd be wonderful. Go check us out on there. You can go to xboxtavern.com for your reviews. I'll get the list up now. I almost forgot the list of reviews. Oh, Ross would be very disappointed if I didn't read them out. So in the last week or so, we've had a few reviews go up. High Water by James, he gave it a 6.5. It's like an RPG, I think it's like a roguelike type thing. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I haven't played it myself, but yeah, he sort of enjoyed it enough to play, but didn't love it as much as I think he hoped. So Malone in the Dark review is 8.3. Kingdoms and Castles from Ian, Millie Man Ian. He dropped us a review. It's like a town builder, based tower defense type thing. Outlast Trials as well from James, gave it 6.8. Graham, we enjoyed a bit of Outlast Trials recently.
Didn't we just?
We did indeed. I had a great time. I really want to play it again. We need to get back to it and play some more. But we haven't really had the time. As we've been discussing, time is our enemy. We've got too many games and not enough minutes in the day. So we need to find some...
I did get enjoyed.
Yeah. I'll fill in for you, Gray. Don't worry, I'll fill in. Yeah, go check it out. It's like a multiplayer version of Outlast. Really, really good. What were you trying to get out there, Gray?
I said I was enjoying our little clips that we've been putting up of you getting randomly decked by that person sitting on the floor. That still makes me chuckle every time I see that.
Yes, go. Yeah, there's lots of random, like non-violent or non-like chasing enemies that will just beat the shit out of you if you get too near them. And they always seem to go for me because I'll get too close. So I just want to hug. Yeah, go check out that stuff there. We've got the previous live stream up on YouTube, as well as the very shorts that Dan and Ross and that create for us, so you can enjoy too. I think that's about it. Like I said, we'll do After Dark after each episode. We'll probably do a very quick one this evening, and then you can go and become a member of the channel, and you can watch them along. We've done some stuff about wrestling, some did we do GeoGuessr yet on After Dark, the new season yet? I think we have. I can't remember, but anyway, go check them out on there. That'd be wonderful. And next week, hopefully, will be episode 150th. Yes, 150th, not 152nd, because it is the Big Bad Ultra Super Duper Ultimate Quiz, as hosted by this man.
Hello,
Mr. MPV Graham.
Hello.
It's always a good fun. Like I said, we've got plenty of other quizzes up now if you want to go back and check them out. Including one where we all got together in person for a very rare occasion up in London.
Oh yes,
after EGX, which was good fun, and then a few others we've done over the airwaves. But for now, I've been Jamie. You can find me at Enaxan on Twitter or Xbox or wherever, anywhere else. And you can find Graham, as you mentioned earlier,
at Graham Reaper.
We are going to go and have a quick chat and then play some more Dragon's Dogma. So farewell, goodbye, be good to each other,